Okay. Give Monmouth a lot of credit. They really bothered us with their trapping and running around and disrupting our offensive rhythm and flow. Quite frankly, it's one of the poorest pass dribble catch games I've ever seen in my life. We haven't had issues like that. We came into today. Now, we had this issue early in the year, okay? We were really, really bad taking care of the ball. And then as of a week ago, we were the second fewest turnovers in our league. And now all of a sudden we can't pass and catch because they trap us and we panicked. And that's all we did in practice, all we worked on. But all of a sudden today we really struggled. We really struggled. Really, really struggled. I think that was obvious. So fire away.
Losing 3 in a row, 7 of 8 at this time when you hope you're getting better and you hope for higher seeding, how concerned are you sliding at this point?
Well, look, I think you're concerned because of how we're playing. I mean, if we were playing well and got beat, because, that can happen in this league. You can play well and get beat. Those stink and they're difficult, but you can stomach them and you can keep trudging forward. Our guard play is going in reverse, and we got a lot of freshmen out there that are playing major minutes and in the games at crunch times, and we do some really silly things. I mean, we committed 2 flagrant fouls in transition. 30 years of college basketball, I don't ever remember seeing that. So it's not just the silly stuff with the ball. We got to be able to think better when we're struggling. And I think some of that's frustration and some of it's silliness and obviously in either scenario it's a big problem.
Tyler's return, how much of a boost was that?
Well, I mean, Tyler was really good in the second half. He had that shot rattle out there that would have given us the lead. I don't know if we necessarily win if that goes in, but Tyler's had an awesome year for us, and to be where he is, 2 weeks ago or whatever, 13 days ago, we're in the hospital all night and being carted off on a stretcher, scary stuff where you don't really know what's going on. So for him to get back at all is amazing. I thought he showed tremendous toughness and courage and leadership in trying to not only play but I think you saw the first half how his timing was off. His first several shots. I mean, he's only played live one day and in 2 weeks, and that's hard. So, but he's the heart and soul of the team, and I think he'll be better on Saturday than he was today. And he gave us a chance to win, though. I mean, he's if you go down through the roster, there weren't a lot of guys that played very well. And I thought Tyler really stepped up and gutted it out and gave us everything you could hope for. Unfortunately, I don't have another big list of names to give you guys that were very effective.
So kind of to what you alluded to before, team's momentum kind of was hampered through like ticky-tack fouls and turnovers at the game. How important is it to not beat yourselves up and kind of like harm your own chances, your own momentum through these kind of like silly mistakes?
Yeah, fair question. I think the frustrating part is I think you guys come to all the games. I mean, some of the passing catching stuff is just I don't know what it's like. We're looking and seeing something that's not there. We threw the ball to guys that were clearly not open. We threw chest passes to the defense 2 or 3 times. So I don't know how much of that is flow. It's debilitating. I mean, that's how they scored their first 2 baskets in the second half. We just threw them the ball. If we could have got them in the half court, we were able to stop them majority of the time. Now they only had 2 guys that really hurt us, but Foster got them off to a great start. Foster out-toughs us for an offensive rebound on the foul line. Foster out-toughs us for an offensive rebound on the air ball. They score on both of those situations. And every other big play, Allen, who just put his head down and put his shoulder on us and, just kind of out-manned us or had more strength and more power to the move than what we were able to absorb. And some of that's going to happen when you've got, a lot of small guards out there and you got some freshmen out there that just don't have the bodies to bang with them. I mean, that kid's a big, strong guy, and he's really played well. The reason they've won 4 in a row is him. He's averaged, up near 20 in their 4 wins, and they didn't win a game till he all of a sudden kind of, whether he figured it out or they changed what they were doing, you can argue it either way. But he was the difference in the game, because Foster's Foster. He's a good player. But, I mean, we literally lost to 2 guys, and on our end, I mean, it's just going to be hard if we're going to get the poor turnovers up top that are just go have a free layup. They're pick sixes. You can't absorb very many of those. You certainly can't absorb half a dozen of them. But there were our guard play was really poor. Was really poor.
Do you think this sort of game was kind of by virtue of having a lot of freshmen? I know you're playing Leon, Toby, and while they were really good in the first half and showed some flashes, kind of in crunch time, it was a little difficult for them to kind of continue that. Do you think this was by virtue of having a lot of
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a factor. I mean, you're young and you need and listen, Toby's been our most effective guard on the whole season. Toby's had a lot of good games. Toby scored double figures 6 games in a row coming into today. He didn't play the way he'd played in the 6 games prior. If he does, we win. It's a lot on a freshman's shoulders to have to take care of the ball and make shots, and especially against a team that's going to guard us like that, where the guards just have to make plays off the dribble because they're not going to let us just throw it to the wing. They're denying, they're trapping. So now it becomes make a basketball play. And he had a tough ball game, which, when you're a freshman, that's going to happen sometimes. It's disappointing that we can't get some other guys going to pick him up when he's not playing well. That's probably more the disappointment to me than rather than the freshman. I mean, I don't know how many he's not going to score double figures, every game, but he's got to be better, and the other guy's got to be much better.
I have just one more. After a loss like this, losing kind of Brian Lee too, losing 7-8, what do you say in the locker rooms, kind of your players, and what do you kind of say going forward throughout practice the rest of the season?
Well, I mean, the only answer ever, right, is to play tougher. I mean, we've got who we've got. We're not going to all of a sudden have a slick dribbling team who's just going to beat guys off the bounce and get to the rim. When we did that in the first half, we missed layups. So the answer is play on 2 feet, shot fake, absorb contact. They ripped the ball out of our hands countless times. So we can play tougher than that. And Tyler being, able to kind of get a little rhythm and getting back in shape. Because really when we were winning, right, we had a lot of guys chipping in. Tyler and Frankie were doing a lot of the scoring, and we're not going to, Frankie's foul trouble was a big problem. I didn't think, he didn't play as well as he's been playing either. So that was a real factor for us. It's all, those guys, they got a lot on their shoulders, but to win, they got to deliver.
Thank you so much.
No, thanks. Good? Okay, thanks. Guys, have a good night.